Welcome to the Growth Fire Podcast, where we engage with top business leaders who share their experiences and provide real insights that help them attract customers, retain staff, and grow their bottom line. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hi there, my name is Kevin Horrigan, and I'm the host of the Growth Fire Podcast, where we interview inspiring leaders who share their experiences in education to help us all grow. Today's podcast is brought to you by Spinutech. Spinutech is a digital advertising agency with over 165 team members who help their clients attract new customers, accelerate the growth of existing clients, and ultimately become more profitable with higher client satisfaction. Thank you, Spinutech, for your sponsorship. And our guest today is Billy Pavlock. Billy is the CEO and founder of Nautical Network. Billy has a strong passion for a maritime industry, and marketing has developed a new and an innovative way to help marine businesses pass their competition. Billy does this by providing a leading next-generation digital service to marine manufacturers, dealers, brokers, and the maritime-related products. Billy, welcome to the Growth Fire Podcast.
Kevin, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, Billy, super excited to talk to you. For those who don't know Billy, why don't you help us with a little bit of a 2-minute elevator speech and let us know who Billy is, please.
Sure. So Billy Pavlock, born and raised in Pinellas County, Florida, just outside of Tampa, went to Palm Harbor High School, then attended school at the University of Weber, which is in Lake Wales, Florida, where I attended for 4 years and played football. After my football career, I started straight out the gate as an entrepreneur with a car and boat detailing business. And that's really what introduced me to the boating industry, which sparked my interest and vision for the brand Nautical Network to where we're at today.
Yeah, that's great. So Billy, what a great background and all that type of stuff. Your company, Nautical Network today, could you give us just a high-level overview of what Nautical Network is?
For sure. So Nautical Network is a digital marine marketing agency. When I say marine, that's what makes us very unique is we focus in the single niche of the marine space. So we help yacht brokers, yacht manufacturers, boat manufacturers, any marine-related products, dealerships, not only capture and create content, but able to create strategies around to showcase that content across social media. Our core 3 services are content creation, social media management, and paid advertising. What makes the company very unique is not only are we very experienced in the content side of things, but we only focus in this niche. So we understand boating, we understand what brokers want, we understand the right angles to get. We have our quote unquote sea legs. So when we're on a shoot, we're on a boat, we make the life very easy for a captain or owner or even a broker when on their product. The other thing that makes this company very unique is our media outlet from Nautical Network. Right now, we reach about 8 million people globally on social media. We have over 2 million followers across our entire network of channels. And we have 8 different communities within the niche of the marine space. So we have a page and brand dedicated to performance boats, yachting, sport fishing, wake boats, your high and exotic boats, and so forth. So it's a very unique platform, very unique niche. And we've had the most crazy experiences and time, met the most amazing people throughout the journey.
So did you say over 2 million followers across your platforms?
Yep. So right now on social media, we, like I said, 2 million followers across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, globally. So it's pretty incredible. Again, it's something that a lot of media companies cannot provide when it comes to content creation. Again, that's our big unique, right? Is a lot of these companies and brokerage firms and just anything marine related, wants to go hire a videographer, photographer to go shoot their content. Again, a lot of companies are now turning to us because they're getting a lot more exposure by leveraging that following and reach that we have on our media outlet channels.
You're talking about getting video and stuff of these boats and stuff like this. I assume we're not talking about canoes and dinghies.
No, no, it's all motor yachts, high-end center consoles, ranging from anywhere from 22 feet all the way up to we shot a boat over 280 feet. So very, very diverse selection of marine products that we deal with, which makes our job a lot more fun, right? It's I had a story where literally one week we were in Key West in a helicopter chasing a 145-mile MTI down to Key West. That same week, we had a team over in Bahamas filming a 180-foot, I think, Benetti. And then the same week, we were in the Gulf of Mexico filming an 80-foot Viking. So very diverse, unique boats that a lot of people don't get to experience.
That sounds like amazing profession. Sounds like a lot of fun. When you're describing some of what you're talking about, getting this video content for these, expensive, vessels, if you will, I kind of reflect back to maybe 10 or 12 years ago, the housing industry. And, maybe a house listing online had 12 photos, and then all of a sudden there's these walkthrough videos and stuff like that. Is that where maybe the idea came for the marine industry?
Yeah, 100%. It's, the boating and yachting market definitely follows suit of the real estate market, right? And definitely the real estate market is what pioneered the whole digital aspect of showcasing listings and showcasing just the housing market in general. So literally when I started this whole idea of, when I had this page, Boats Gone Wild at the time, when I started the whole idea of, man, I'm going to help brokers out by just posting videos of boats online. And I knew the market so well. I'll be at certain marinas. I definitely wasn't in the right place at the right time for a lot of these pieces of content that we created. But it was as simple as me just creating a video on my iPhone, seeing a boat on a marina, and I knew it was for sale. And there was always the high-end exotic boats that I wanted to attract to. So I would see this 43-foot Midnight Express at a price point of $1 million. And I would just take a quick little video on my phone, and I knew it was for sale. So I would literally list it for sale on Instagram, mention the broker, mention the representative that had that boat. And sure enough, I had literally leads coming in from Instagram, and people thought it was crazy.
Wow.
Like, wow,
Yeah.
man, there's not a chance you can touch my target market with social media and Instagram, right? And this is 4 years ago. And it was funny because with social media at the time, the good thing about social media is you can go to a viewer, a user's profile and see what type of person they are, right? Do they have nice cars? Do they have a family? Where do they live? So you can kind of right away start validating them of who this buyer is. And I already knew personally, I was like, man, I know I have buyers in here because I'm literally talking to them. And then if I talk to them, I would do some research and find this guy owns this company. This guy owns this company. So when people said I was wasting my time and I would never touch a target market, I knew they were wrong because I was physically and literally doing it at the time.
Yeah, you're experiencing it. Yeah.
I was truly experiencing. So it was really neat because again, it's finally now fast forward to now. It's people are now understanding the importance of social media, and that whole buyer's persona is changing from the attention is all going to social media. And now everybody in today's world of digital marketing, they all want to win on social media right now.
So what an interesting story. So 4 years ago, you see a nice $1 million 45-foot Midnight Express. Take a quick video, post it on Instagram. You got a bunch of people commenting and saying, is that boat for sale?
Yep.
And you took that spark and made an amazing, dominating, innovative company out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And people told you you're crazy.
Yeah, people told me that's crazy. So it's funny because literally the business truly started on Instagram. It was literally just one Instagram page called Boats Gone Wild. And it was just, again, name sounds funny, but it was literally all the wildest boats you could imagine around the world. And at the time, growing this page, obviously, to win on social media, you needed content. Really, I knew that, right? So it was me sacrificing my time, my days, my weekends, just to go to an inlet, or just to go to a marina, or just to go on a friend's boat to go capture content of a boat passing by the bridge. It was the most unique ideas I could think of just to get as much content as possible. I would literally hire freelance photographers and videographers in Miami because I knew Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Palm Beach were this where you'll find a lot of those high and exotic boats. So I would literally hire freelance photographers and say, here's $100. Go to the inlet and just capture me videos and photos of boats and send me. And these guys are like, sure, I'll do that. That's easy, right? So that's literally what helped grow the channel was the content that I was able to generate. And today it's really what built the business was content. And now it's funny because to get any listing shown to even traditional marketing, these guys need content, right? So
right.
What sparked the idea is like, okay, I have this cool media outlet, this cool media platform where I'm attracting obviously boat buyers and enthusiasts. Now let me take it a step further and actually build a business out of it, right? And actually hire a marketing team, actually hire a video content creator, photographer, and actually start providing these services as a whole. That's what we're now providing now is the complete package of photo, video, and distribution on our channels.
So, Billy, what I'm hearing is through your own, marketing initiative and kind of, desire for boats and things of that nature, you took a hobby of just putting some content out there and you created a business. Was there anybody else using social media at the time to try to sell a boat?
To be honest, there really wasn't. There was a few other channels that that tried it out, and there's a few out there right now still doing it. And everyone, it came down to monetization, right? And with it's at the time, right? I'm posting all these pictures and videos, and I'm like, okay, I'm not making any money, right? So at what point is this hobby just a hobby, right? And or what time do I have to get a real job? And at the time, it was funny because like even when I told my family, my fiance at that time, hey, like this is my vision for it. They're like, you're crazy, because this is 4 years ago, right? People are like, you're really gonna build a business off Instagram. I was like, well, I have a vision for it. Like, let me try it, right? So that's really what it was. It was just trying to who could win the race of monetizing an Instagram page to what it was, right? And a lot of guys that at the same time that I was kind of doing this, there were a few other channels or pages out there, again, theme marine pages. And everyone tried their own route, right? Everyone tried building a team, which they found out it was really difficult to build a team. Then some guys would get to a point where they would generate so many leads, they're like, oh my God, I might as well sell boats, that actually became brokers. Right. So again, through my just persistence of what my vision was, I knew I wanted to build a marketing agency. And when I literally picked up the camera and learned how to actually shoot content and hire the professionals that understand how to shoot video, I wasn't able to go after brokerage firms. And obviously, when I generate a big lead for a marketing firm, or as a marketing firm, I generate a big lead for retainer, which the client is Glaude Yacht Sales. They're the ones that actually helped me pioneer the entire business model. Working with them has been tremendous because they do volume when it comes to brokerage listings, and they have about eight dealerships and marinas throughout the world. So it was cool because it really matched what I was trying to accomplish. Right, they have a worldwide clientele, and I had a worldwide audience to generate obviously leads and exposure. So basically, when I went into the sales pitch with them and partnership, I was like, hey guys, who are you guys using for photography videographer right now? We use this guy. Okay. What additional value could he bring? Oh, he just does good photos and videos and hands it over. We have to do the rest. Okay. So what extra value you guys giving to your clients? Oh, we're just this is what we do. This is all we know. So what I came is, okay, how about this? You can now go to your listing to win more listings. You guys can actually go to your clients and now leverage Nautical Network. Hey, not only are we Glaude Yacht Sales, we have all these, this great customer service. We've been around for 50 years. But now we actually have Nautical Network shoot our content. Now you're going to get the additional exposure worldwide for your listing by leveraging this marketing agency. So it literally became a sales tool for brokers, right? That they actually leverage our brand and network and obviously showcase their product. And when it comes to, I guess, competition, anyone else doing, there's really no one else doing this, right? You have your traditional media outlets, your traditional just blog forums, your traditional magazines, right? But we all know it's 2023. A lot of those things are becoming extinct, and they're now struggling to keep up with the times and able to pivot to the digital side of things, where we literally have media outlets coming to us trying to get advice on, hey, like we're literally losing clients on paying for advertising or magazine because they want to go digital, and literally that dollars is now transferring from traditional marketing to digital marketing. So again, we're in a really awesome position because we're at the digital forefront of all this, and it's been amazing.
Well, and I think that's a great story, Billy. And I think very early on in the story, you were talking about you're taking content. People thought you're crazy. How you going to when are you going to get a real job and stuff like this? But as you started to share that story, you also talked about it's all about the monetization, and it wasn't just to be able to put money in your pocket to be able to pay your mortgage. It was about how to get monetization back to the people who you were working for. And it is very interesting. Very early on in the conversation, the piece of the puzzle that you were trying to determine is this content had eyeballs, but it didn't have monetization yet. And it sounds like you bridged the gap between really super cool content and trying to find a monetization around that super cool content. And it sounds like you really, really, have figured that out. I'm sure you have a case study or two of, you got some amazing content, pushed it up on social media, and all of a sudden amazing things happen. You want to share a story or two about how this actually has evolved and some real life examples of someone trying to sell a boat and how quickly they sold it and how cost effectively?
Of course, those are a few. The one that stood out the most to me was the initial kind of first story that I had a broker actually reach out to me. And so rewind a little bit, when I was detailing boats and I had the management company, I also picked up a yacht brokerage license. So I would actually sell boats. I didn't do it full time. It was just one of those things that I hung a license, and if a client or one of my companies or the boats that I managed wanted to sell their boat, I was able to help them assist them. So I did have a license at the time, and the story was that I was literally listing these boats, and I would literally just find boats for sale and find exotic boats and cool boats, and I would advertise them. Right, this boat's for sale, listed with so and so. Reach out to us for more information. Yada yada yada. The story was I actually had a broker send me a photo of an empty desk in his office and said, "Hey man, you're literally wasting your time. You're never going to sell that $1 million boat off Instagram. It's not going to happen. It's Instagram. Like no one in this world is on Instagram buying those type of boats." And he literally sent me a photo of his desk and said, "Hey man, I'd love to offer you a full-time job here. You have this awesome desk. You have this awesome platform. You have a marina you can work at." And I didn't take it as disrespect. I took it as okay, that's cool. You know, my social media platform has now opened up job opportunities, right? To go bigger, better things. So I took it as that way. But when he said to me, I was like, I really want to prove this guy wrong, right? Because it really irritated me that he was telling me I don't have his target market when I literally knew I was talking to potential buyers and buyers and sellers of boats. So literally a week after that whole thing happened, I literally organically posted a boat for sale on Instagram, and a guy from Haiti he DM'd me and says, "Hey, I'm interested in this boat. Can you call me? Here's my number." This is at 10:30 at night. Sure, call the guy. "Hey, Stefan, what's going on?" "Oh my God, you're a real person." Like, that's his reaction. "You're a real person. I thought you were just an Instagram page." So right away when I called him, I shocked him because he's like, "Okay, you're a real person." So of course, after talking with him, he's like, "Hey, I'm interested in that boat. I'd love to come see it." And I was able to work with him from the brokerage standpoint. So within that full 2-week span, he had flights booked. I picked him up at the airport in Fort Lauderdale. And within that week of showing him 2 different boats, he ended up buying the boat that I posted on Instagram.
Wow.
I literally, after that whole thing happened, I took that commission check, I took a photo of it, and I sent it back to the broker. And I said, "Hey, thanks for the inspiration. I do have your target market." And it's funny because fast forward today, this broker now uses us to actually shoot all of his content and advertise all of his listings. So I turned a non-believer into a believer. And again, the case study continues to happen. Another unique story was
before you tell the next one, I'm just going to tell you, I got the chills on that, right? And so what a story, right? You got a broker sends you a picture of the desk and says, hey, young buck, man, you seem like you got something promising ahead of you, but why don't you come sit at this desk at this beautiful marina and stuff like this and come sell boats? And 2 weeks later, you're sending them a picture of the commission check, right? Yep. Which had to feel good, right? Very validating, felt good. But to know that he's a client today, I think, guests of the Growth Fire podcast, Billy, they all have unique stories. And, I think there's a common thing of taking risk and doing something you're passionate about. And passion doesn't always convert to success, but passion and just a desire to succeed and tenacity, those things can really help. The guests of Growth Fire who share their stories, passion for sure was an ingredient, but I think tenacity, and at some point you have to be smart enough to let go when you need to let go, but it's neat to hear that worked. And it's neat to hear a boat you weren't listing, you marketed and ended up representing as the buyer side agent for it. Let's hear another case study.
Yeah, another good story was when it comes to the power of social media, we were on a listing in Clearwater Beach filming for a broker for Galata Yacht Sales. And this guy's really he's an older broker, so he's kind of behind times when it comes to Instagram and social media. And, so he doesn't really understand the marketing or the digital marketing aspect, right? So yeah, he's just hired us for photos and video. Little does he know that much about our platform, right? So he comes out there again. These guys hire us for their initial photo shoot, video shoot. So this boat that we're hired for, it was a 65 Sea Ray. So again, pretty prominent boat. And what we do is what makes our company very unique and what makes Instagram so unique and social media is you can literally post something with your phone. The click of a button, you got something showcased to millions of people worldwide, right? Yep. And it's that simple just to post something. So as we were doing the full-on listing shoot for this broker, our drone pilots in the air, our photographers doing the photos of the cabins, and we have a social media person doing iPhone content of these boats. And it's funny because the people when you take your phone out and start recording, these guys are like, "Oh, this is a waste of time. These guys have phones out."
Right.
So I'm taking a photo of a video of the boat, just kind of doing a behind the scenes of here's Nautical Network, here's us at work. We're on this 65-foot Sea Ray listed for sale at Galata Yacht Sales. I literally took a video and I posted on the Instagram story as we're on the shoot. We literally get back to the dock, and before we even tied up, this broker gets a phone call, and it's the acquirer about the boat, and he hangs up. He's like, "How the hell does someone learn about this boat? It's not even online yet. We're literally doing the photo shoot right now to make the listing active." And I said, what do you mean? He goes, "Someone literally just called the office and they got transferred to me for this boat that we're on." I said, "Oh, maybe it was because I posted this." And I showed him. He was like, "No way." So literally, as we're literally on the shoot, trying to shoot his act, the photos and videos for the live listing, I'm real time posting Instagram stories to our network, and he's generating leads before he can even get it live, right?
That's awesome.
Again, now that whole thing is like, okay, now that broker loves it because he's like, he can go to the owner of the boat and be like, "Hey, the boat's inactive, right?
Right.
And I can potentially generate a lead for your boat."
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It makes him look good. And then, again, of course, it brings more money into that broker's pocket because he's going to have to share that listing with the co-broker, right? And give them money out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was obviously very unique, right? And another story was similar scenario where we're going into a sales meeting with a potential client, and they're on the fence of like, do I really believe into their marketing their digital marketing, their power Instagram? So what we did was the day before the sales meeting, which was in person, I had our social team. I was like, "Hey, take about 5 of their listings and just throw them on our channels, throw them all our channels, just advertise all their listings, even mention them, make sure all the credit goes to them, and just throw them out there." So literally the day before the meeting, we went to this meeting the next day, and of course we're pitching obviously how, our quality of content, right? Our professionalism, all this good stuff. And then to delve into like the power of our Instagram, and same thing. They're like, "I don't believe you, right? It's Instagram." So I literally put the phone on a screen recording to their TV. And I go to my direct messages. And I go, "Hey guys, I know this probably wasn't what you guys want us to do, but we took matters in our own hands. We started just listing your like 5 listings that you guys currently have. We put them on Instagram to see what type of exposure we get." Sure as shit, Kevin, when I put that screen on the TV, they had their own clientele DMing us.
Right.
"Hey, I'm interested in that boat. Hey, I'm interested in that boat." So now they're seeing the loyalty of their clients. "Oh my God, this is how powerful this platform is." You think your clients are loyal. At the end of the day, they're doing social media to get inspired, to gain more experience or knowledge about these boats that are for sale, and reaching out to us directly to get more information about these boats. So again, it's all these unique things that we did, and to prove the fact that it works.
Yeah.
So again, of course, that led into a full-on retainer with this client because again, they had no choice. It's literally like, I have no choice but to use you guys because again, you guys have proven it.
It worked.
Great. You're proving that it works, and our clientele obviously trusts you guys enough to reach out to you to learn more about these boats.
Well, and I think that, it's interesting you share those stories are also great, Billy. It's interesting you share that. I view, kind of what you've done, Billy, is kind of a pioneer into using social media to sell luxury, expensive items, right? And no one's a believer. No one's a believer, yet you're taking photos and video of a listing and just sharing stories of that and getting leads. You take 5 listings of a prospect of yours and just publish them out there real quickly before you go into a meeting, and their loyal customers are responding to you with no loyalty all of a sudden, right? And so it's difficult to be trying to sell to a market that isn't educated to know that market might be a beneficial channel. Can you talk a little bit about your struggles of being a pioneer and leveraging social media to sell expensive luxury product, and in how to go from, it's the right solution, but your buyer doesn't, and talk a little bit about maybe some of the learning beyond what you just shared about how you've been trying to sell to a market that doesn't believe that there's a product that they need to buy.
Yeah. Again, at the end of the day, like, we could have done many different routes with this whole brand, right? And we could have been just a posting platform and just posted photos and video and became just a media outlet, right? Like a traditional magazine. But we didn't. The cool thing about this company is so unique, and me and my team, my partners, was we wanted to learn about these boat buyers, right? And again, we love the whole aspect of the network. That's why the Nautical Network made perfect sense, because in the DMs, right, we will learn about, "Hey, John, I've seen you bought that 45 Nortec. How do you like it?" And we would have sparked conversation with these boat owners. So right away, that was the biggest, to me, that was the most important thing, was not only were we generating leads, but we're actually generating relationships with these boat buyers, right?
Right.
Which obviously they shared, and introduced us to their network, and that helps spread like wildfire. But when it came to the influence of hey, Billy, I'm in the market for XYZ boat and XYZ boat over here. I've seen you've been on both boats through your experience and through your content. Tell me more about these two boats. So
Wow.
the influence aspect of it became very strong, which again, that's what made us very unique because a lot of these pages and media outlets, right? They take ad dollars, they post content, and that's all they have. We take
Right.
it a step further. We'll actually talk to these clients, right? We want to learn to know who they are, why they chose
Right.
that boat, what that buying persona is, right? And learn, hey, you and Lily would ask them, hey, they'll inquire about a boat and would ask them, why did you reach out to us about this boat? Oh, because I'm on Instagram every day, just scrolling and looking at cool things to buy. And
Yes.
it's crazy because a whole buying persona now is changing from people surfing the internet or going to places that attention is now going to digital and social media. So again, that helped be the forefront because not only were they coming to our channel to maybe get inspired or to get inspiration for what boat they want to buy, but they were actually talking to a human component to learn about that boat that they were looking at, or to learn about, hey, who do you recommend for this? Who do you recommend to go do this? So it's been really awesome because not only was I able to help sell boats for brokers, but for other marine services, I was able to connect a lot of dots, right?
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Billy, I just bought this boat, but I need a transporter from Miami to New York. And when I get to New York, I need a detail company to help me clean the boat. So it's really
Right.
cool because now I was able to connect a lot of dots through my knowledge of, experiences in the marine industry, from the cleaning to the sales process. So I was able to kind of share a lot of experience and then a lot of knowledge on the products of boats that I've been on, to help anyone, influence that decision of what boat they wanted to buy.
Yeah, that's amazing, and obviously a huge differentiator as well. So, Billy, in my own journey of social media and things of that nature, I can't tell you how many times I've been just looking at content and some sponsored ads come in front of me, and I make impulse buys of something I never thought I would buy. I maybe didn't even know that the product existed. And I'd say 25% of that sitting on my garage shelf, it's still in its original package. But someone targeted me with an advertisement. I can think of a dent remover for my car that's still sitting in its package. I haven't taken the dent out yet. I've got all kinds of different products. I have to imagine you've had people out there that had no intention of buying a boat, but saw some of your content out there and just jumped at it. And this isn't buying a $29 dent remover for their car. This is buying a $500,000 or $2 million boat. You have any stories of people who are just browsing content and all of a sudden saw something that just knocked their socks off and went from a passive browser to a customer?
Yeah, no. A good example is a gentleman that is a big, huge follower of us. We helped influence the sale of a $9.8 million Riva. And it's funny because he was always just a center console guy. Like he never had any, no, he never wanted a bigger boat, right? He just didn't need the captain. He understood like it costs a lot more money to maintain these style boats than anything. He's always been a center console guy, right? And it's funny because every time we see him in person or whatever it is, he goes, man, I just keep seeing these badass yachts on your page. And it literally, it influenced me to buy one. So this guy literally went from a Nortec owner, just only new center consoles, to learning from us. Hey, what does it take to, when I buy these boats, what's the cost of owning this boat? What's a captain and crew that I can can you recommend? So this gentleman actually went from our Instagram page that he only knew center consoles, seen a $9.8 million Riva on our channel, and actually went to that broker who's one of our clients at Allied Marine and actually bought the boat from a boat show from Allied Marine. But he leveraged, again, our expertise of trusting, hey, use that Nortec you have as a tender to this boat. Well, that's a good idea, Bill. I didn't think about that. Like, it's just funny because he really wasn't he was a boater, but he wasn't like a true boater, right? He loved the idea of it, but he didn't understand how much more unique it would be to have a bigger boat. So yeah, I mean, it's a great story because again, there's a multi-million-dollar boat buyer right there that literally came from our Instagram DM to real life.
As you share that story, I think of Daniel Mack and what do you do for a living when you see the nice cars? But a guy who's got a really nice Nortec buying a $9.8 million Riva, and then the Nortec becomes his tender. I'd love to know what he does for a living. That's a pretty impressive story. Billy, I mean, just the stories you shared are just amazing. It's so remarkable on how you've been able to pioneer social media to get consumer awareness and interest in buying in a channel that never existed before, in a way faster and a way more cost-effective platform. And congratulations to you and to the Nautical Network vision and the team, the company you built, the clients you have. In the marine industry, the clients you mentioned are at the top of the pinnacle of who the marine industry is, at the best of the best. You mentioned the Galati organization and how superior they are and what they do. And many of the other clients out there that I'm aware of that you have, like, congratulations. And in 4 years, you've accomplished what many would only dream of. And it's got to be by taking a risk and being confident in what you're doing. And you've been able to monetize it. And you've been able to take an industry that maybe not a forefront of marketing and leveraging from some traditional styles and turn them into believers, because you figured out the piece of the puzzle that many people with great ideas don't figure out. And that is how to monetize that, not only for yourselves, but to the people that you're providing a product or service to. And so I applaud you on your journey and being able to do all of that. That's a lot to accomplish in quite a bit. I've got two more questions for you. On the Growth Fire podcast, we talk about mentors. Have you ever had any mentors? Would you care to mention a mentor's name? And what have you learned from your mentors?
Yeah. Well, Kevin, you've been one of my original mentors from the start of this whole thing, right? And I never forget sitting in my apartment, my back porch at, I think it was like 9:30 at night. And, one of my other mentors, Mr. Hood, goes, "Hey man, I really want you to meet Kevin," right? He's this digital marketing guru here in Tampa. He's a boater. Like, he would love us to chat to you about what you have going on. And I just never forget sitting on my porch at 9:00 at night, 9:30 at night. Let me just call this guy and see what he does, right? And ever since that, right, that was probably 4.5 years ago, 4 years ago now. I remember talking on the phone and say, "Kevin, this is what I have." And you're like, "Man, that's pretty cool, right?" And I also own this boat, so you and I just right away hit it off, because you're obviously in the boating side of things too, and digital marketing side of things. So, Kevin, you've actually been a huge mentor of mine. No, again, I appreciate everything you've helped me out through this whole entire journey. Without you, I probably wouldn't be to this position I'm at now. Throughout the years, I've learned so much from you. I've taken so much advice from you. Have pivoted certain ways because of the advice you've given me. Conversations that I've had have been transpired because of you. Clients we've received have been help from you. So you've been an awesome mentor my entire business career. Some other guys that I look into when it comes to digital marketing, some guy that people find annoying, but I absolutely love his intensity is Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk is one of those guys that he's everywhere. He's super loud, but he understands digital marketing. He understands what's coming about, what's evolving, what's working. And I put a lot of trust into him about, what's that next step for social media. A good example was the whole TikTok side of things, right?
Yeah.
When TikTok came out, Gary Vee's like, "You guys better get on TikTok. You guys better get on TikTok." And I just listened to him, and sure as crap, I got on TikTok as soon as he said it. The great thing about TikTok, I already had the content, right? And
right.
Less than a year of posting on TikTok, we generated over 1.5 million followers just through obviously posting our content on TikTok. And of course, I have some other mentors. Ryan Hughes, just another mentor of mine. He actually is in the pool business. He deals with, cool thing about Ryan Hughes is his story is very unique too, because he deals with, some insanely influential and wealthy individuals across the world.
Right.
And the great part about him is he kind of shares the same story. Most of his business, probably 75% of his leads are generated through Instagram, right?
Wow.
So right away, when I met him through Instagram and talking boats, him and I share a lot of similarities because he understands the power of my network and he understands the power of social media and advertising. So him and I share a lot of different things, because it's cool to see that he comes to me, he's like, "Oh my God, I just sold this guy a backyard for $20 million and he's a follower of your channel." So it's kind of cool because we share a lot of similarities, and he's helped me, lead a lot of my conversation relationships as well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And it's interesting, the pool person, but, dealing with high net worth people, and, everyone has their own personality. They beat to their own drum, but using social media to generate it too, while not the same industry, it's the same problem. High net worth people buying very custom products, that they probably want to, I don't know if the word show off is a lot, but they use for entertaining, right? They bring it around people to, they find enjoyment about using these things that are expensive to bring other people around and stuff like that. And so, very personable and very difficult, because everyone has their unique style. And so, part of that is learning how to deal with all these unique styles. Billy, last question I have for you today is, where do you find your inspiration? What continues to keep you? You're on the forefront of using social media to sell very expensive things. How do you stay on the forefront? Where do you get your inspiration?
This thing right here, my brain. I just, for some reason, I've been fortunate to be very creative.
Yes.
Again, it's the small things that I always do, sending the commission check to the broker and now earning a client. it's really just the creativity in this that I've developed. And again, I can credit my mom and dad, right? Whatever it was,
Sure.
but that's really what it is, man. It's I'm always just in the now, in the know. I built an absolutely amazing team. Again, I hire the professionals that can shoot video and photos, right? They're the ones that introduced me to new products when it comes to digital marketing or camera equipment. I hired a social team, right? So they're coming to me with ideas every day, right? And all I need is just the initial idea. Hey, Billy, here's a cool camera. And I'll get in my mind and start thinking, oh, let's try this with that camera. Hey, Billy, here's a new social media trend. Oh, cool. Let's take that trend. And then, somehow can we incorporate boating into that trend, right? So, right, I'm fortunate to have a creative mind, but I'm very fortunate to have the amazing team that I have. Right now, there's 40 plus of us.
Wow. Congratulations.
Right now. Thank you. Yeah. 3-year goal is to, probably even sooner than this, but 3-year goal is to take it international. We started dabbling to the international market a little bit. But right now, our team, we have guys currently in California, New York, Arkansas, Texas, and scattered throughout Florida. So very large team, a lot of great ideas. Again, the cool thing about this team is we're the digital marketing landscape. So it's always evolving.
Yes, it is.
You need people that are able to adapt at all times, right? And
absolutely.
With that, we have so many creative minds in one room that helps me even become more creative because I'm pulling ideas from all these different people that are on social media on a daily basis that help me obviously spark way more ideas than obviously usual. So it's amazing.
What a great source of inspiration. And, I'm very famous with the quote, there's an old story, but there is an old story about how a CEO gets inspired from the source called their coworkers and their clients, right? And so often we think we need to look at these external sources to gain inspiration, yet the people close to us, our clients and our coworkers, sometimes can be the greatest source of inspiration. And it sounds like you're living that dream with your team and continue to get inspiration from them. So that's a great story. Billy, thank you so much for your time today. We've been talking to Billy Pavlock, CEO of Nautical Network. Billy, you've shared some great stories today. I think the case study of you getting the picture of the desk and offering you a job, and 2 weeks later, sending a picture of the commission check may rank up there as one of the best case studies on the Growth Fire podcast so far. Some people may want to reach out to you. You're a pioneer in social media, a pioneer in helping monetization of social media. If someone wants to reach out to you, Billy, what's the best way they can reach out to you?
Yeah, Instagram right now is probably the easiest form of reaching out to me. It's find us on at nautical.network. Shoot me a DM on there. We answer everyone. Again, any questions about digital marketing, any questions about boating, just anything in general that you want to learn about, content creation. Again, our team loves to teach. Again, that's the great thing about the individuals that we have in our company. They didn't all come from the boating side of things. We have guys that came from real estate, from the car industry, from aviation industry. So we brought a lot of different personalities into this business. So if it's not me that can answer the question, I can guarantee that I have someone with my company that can help you out.
That's great, Billy. We appreciate that. Billy, thank you so much for being a guest on the Growth Fire podcast. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your insights. We appreciate your story, and we wish you ongoing success.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin, for having me.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks for listening to the Growth Fire podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.